INST.i.AM. Digital identity. Scanning 800 million Instagram accounts for digital identity, for lived experience, for emotional affective resonance. Know this, there is no empirical truth, only multiple validities.
700 million people posting their lives on Instagram every day. That's mind-boggling. I think Instagram has given you a platform where you can mold your identity rather than it affecting your identity.
I think the widespread popularity of Instagram as a social networking platform speaks to a number of recent cultural changes in how we communicate and how we perceive ourselves as human subjects.
My photos are showing some of the interesting moments in my life. My pictures and videos are showing people who I really am. They can see some of my modeling work, my music work, and my personal stuff.
Instagram is a way of life for me. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do even before getting up from the bed is to check my Instagram account, the various Insta story from the people I follow. Then I go to the office and come back, have my lunch. Again, I check my Instagram account. During the late evening, I post a picture a day, and then I close my day by checking all the Insta stories that I have missed through the day. And that's how my life is enhanced every day by Instagram.
The identity is so distorted right now. For me, I was fascinated of the idea of getting influenced by something. You're interested in the way they present themselves online, so you get obsessed. They would change the way they behave or the way they talk or the way they dress.
It's almost like a mask. It's this sort of abstract world. And that's what I like about it as well, because you can escape into something completely meaningless. You know, it doesn't have to tell a story about you. And in fact, that's the kind of stuff that I'm almost trying to sort of go the other way and say nothing about me. Because people are obsessed with sort of presenting an identity through social media, which is tiresome. You look at millennials now, people who grew up into that stuff, they seem to take it much more seriously.
It's a way of keeping the pulse. Keeping yourself not alive but presented somewhere that I actually don't think is futile. And yes, the social place is becoming a very real place for us now. I think everyone presents themselves with hesitation. It's a text, right? It's kind of text. People they are in contact with, people they follow, understand those texts differently.
I will rather go for a hike or read a good book than stick to those platforms. It makes no sense for me. People are just checking Instagram as some Snow White mirror, inflating their egos, looking for likes. And today you have like farms around the world. You can pay to get more likes, which is absurd. They have to stick away from those screens and those ego machines and those narcissistic mirrors and connect more with real life and interact with people in real life.
Even the people who realize this kind of control, they are trying to get out of it, but they always come back and they become slaves like everyone else. I always feel like we are being controlled and we think that this is the real world and we want to make achievement, we want to have likes, we want to have followers, and this is not the real world.
I think you've been given this platform where you can pick and choose what you share with people. It's hard to tell if what we're looking at sometimes on our phone is real. All of our memories are through pictures now on our phone. We only remember now what we see on our phone. If you don't take a picture now, a video of something, you're never going to remember it, even if it was a great moment for you. And then those memories dictate your history.
I prefer to follow people who do show their identity really well, whether they're writers or artists, painters, sculptors, other photographers who really have something to say. I recently actually started unfollowing a lot of accounts that I did before I started expressing myself openly through my beliefs and everything and my vision. I feel like 4, 5, 6 months, my account will be me 100%. It will be me expressing my vision, sharing my art with people who actually share a similar vision to mine from around the world. And that's what's beautiful about it, is that you have this huge access to everyone on the planet.
Some of our Instagram posts are selfies. A selfie is literally a performance of the self. Just as our way of walking, our way of speaking, the words we say, how we dress, the unconscious way in which we do manhood or womanhood or otherhood, a selfie is an articulation of our identity, a performance of our selfhood. But another way of thinking about this is to acknowledge our sharing of images that are not of ourselves, a turning back of the camera onto our world, and a posting of that which we see and that which we have desired to capture. This too is a performance of ourselves, a way of being in the world that identifies us and expresses our identities.
The only reason I have social media really is for work. Honestly, I fucking hate social media. Where I kind of let people see the real me is in my stories. I'm very honest, I'm very blunt and upfront. I'm not an influencer, I am a content creator, I'm a filmmaker. I'll never walk around saying I'm an influencer. I can go put on an animal print thong and run around this park growling, saying I'm a cheetah, or whatever. Is it true? No. Just like if somebody says they're an influencer, doesn't mean it's true. It just means they're talking shit. If I was to put 20 pounds of muscle on and become this beefcake or whatever, and then put a bunch of selfies with my chest showing and sweaty abs and put stupid captions, I'd get thousands and thousands of followers, and I'd have people going through my whole profile because that's what people are like and that's what they want to see now. I feel like if myself and a few others show their true selves, then maybe that'll catch on and more people will do it. Nothing is going to change my identity. I don't care what other things or influences there are. I'm always going to be the same person. If you want a bunch of fake, super positive stuff and you want to live vicariously through other people's accounts, then go right ahead. When I'm done posting, most of the time, I just turn my shit off and unplug.
I think that it is, for me at least, I get through my day and I understand what I do on the internet and I'm able to cope with it and grapple with it and situate it on a nice little orderly shelf within my life by conceiving of it as a digital identity and by compartmentalizing that, and also understanding that borders are not fixed. It's like a gaseous substance, so it has a fixed volume but not necessarily a fixed structure or whatever. But it's like a vape cloud basically, where it's it's just there and you can kind of twirl it around and it goes into this nook, into this cranny. So that's what a digital identity is, by default made up of so many different things that do not originate on the internet. The internet is the way to arrange them. It is the way to blow the vape cloud into something that looks like a mushroom or something that looks like Cleopatra's profile. I think learning to treat Instagram as a job and not as a diary and not as a therapist and not as a substitute for self-love has been the major shift that I've experienced.